Mickey D on the beat.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the MMA Breakdowns channel. I'm your host and fearless leader, Mr. JJM. Basically, tonight, what I'll be doing is giving my predictions for the UFC Fight Night card, Hermanson versus Pfeiffer. Quick disclaimer before we get started. All of my content posted are for strict entertainment purposes and should not be viewed as financial or betting advice. So I advise you, if you are gonna bet off of what I'm saying, please do your own research and bet responsibly. Also, I am a bit under the weather, guys, because I'm struggling with a little cold. So please see leeway with me this evening. And I would also like to thank all of the subscribers of my channel. Thank you guys so much for the love and support that you have shown, and I hope you continue to give the love. Um, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I will advise that you hit the subscribe button, click the post notification bell to be alerted of all of my future videos, and let's get into the picks. First fight in the card, we have Daniel Marcos versus Auriculum. I'm picking Daniel Marcos to get the victory. It's pretty straightforward. He's a very good kickboxer. Auriculong doesn't have a great chin, and I think Auriculong is going to try to force Marcos into a brawling style, but with his fight IQ, he's going to keep it at distance or at range, touches him up, pieces him up, and I think Auriculong rushing in is going to get caught with something major and put out in his second or the third round. And for that, I'm giving Daniel Marcos the win by KO. Odds for the fight are pretty correct. Daniel Marcos standing at a minus 210 favorite, with Auriculong being a plus 165 favorite. So for that, I'm definitely giving Daniel Marcos the win. I think he gets it done by knockout. Next fight on the card, we have Haider Amil versus Fernie Garcia. I'm picking Haider Amil to get the victory. Although he is an underdog in the fight, Fernie Garcia, a bantamweight moving up to featherweight, currently on a 3-fight losing streak. Not chinny in any way, so I say he does test Haider Amil, but I think Haider Amil will push him and get the victory on the judges' scorecard. Looking at the odds, Haider Amil sitting at a plus 125 underdog, and Fernie Garcia sitting at a minus 175 favorite. So I think the underdog prevails here, and I'm gonna pick Haider Amil by decision. Moving up the cards, we have Zach Pauga versus Bogdan Goskov. I'm picking Bogdan Goskov to get the victory over Zach Pauga. I think he is the more explosive striker. On the feet, he can hurt you, and I don't think Zach Pauga can get him down. Granted, Pauga is very good on the ground. I think he does have some knowledge in the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, or he is competent there, but I think he's gonna tire, or he's not going to look that good in rounds 2 onwards, and Bogdan is going to catch him with something big and put his lights out. And for that, I'll have to take him by knockout, second or third round knockout. Looking at the odds for the fight, Zach Pauga minus 135 favorite, which is crazy, and Guskov at a plus 125 underdog, sorry. But I am picking the dog as well in this fight to get it done. Moving up on the fight card, the next fight is between Jeremiah Wells and Max Griffin. I'm picking Jeremiah Wells to get the victory. I think he is the overall better fighter. Wherever the fight goes, whether on the feet, on the ground, submissions, grappling, Max Griffin is not a chinny fighter as well. very good test for Jeremiah Wells, and a good bounce back fight for him. I know Max Griffin last loss came from Michael Morales, so another prospect in the welterweight division. But I just think Jeremiah Wells controls him, presses him, touches him up on the feet, and cruises his way to a unanimous decision on the judges' scorecard. Looking at the odds, Jeremiah Wells a minus 145 favorite, with Max Griffin being a plus 185 dog. So that sounds about right. I'm picking Jeremiah Wells to get the victory. Next fight in the card, we have Devin Clark versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm picking Devin Clark to get a knockout over Marcin Prachnio. Now, in the light heavyweight division, Marcin Prachnio is not that good, man. I'm sorry, he's just not that good. I'm not impressed by him anyways. He is a fighter that gets hit a lot and he gets put out. So, Devin Clark as well. Great wrestler, good on the ground, competent ground game, good on the feet. Both of them been around the scene for a while, but I think Devin Clark catches him either in the first or second round and ends the fight. Looking at the odds for the fight, I'm seeing Devin Clark as a minus 127 favorite on my end, and Marcin Prachnio as a plus 220 underdog, which makes sense. That just makes sense. And I will be taking Devin Clark. I say he gets the knockout. Next fight in the card, ladies going at it. We have Loma Lookboonmee, which I hope I got correct, versus Bruna Brazil. I'm picking Bruna Brazil to upset Lookboonmee on the judges' scorecard. I think she has the pressure striking and grappling Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skill to take it on the ground. She does have competent striking on the feet as well, and I think she edges out a hard-fought decision on the judges' scorecard. Looking at the odds, Loma is a minus 225 favorite, with Bruno Brazil being a plus 285 underdog. So I will be attacking that. I know it's a woman's fight, anything can happen, but I just think that the underdog prevails here as well. Styles make fights, and I think Bruno Brazil has a good style that can really take it to Loma. So for that, I'm picking Bruno Brazil by decision. Next fight on the card, we have Balaji Oki versus Damir Hadzovic. I'm picking Damir Hadzovic to edge out a decision. Now, Balaji Oki right now is the prospect on the tier. The hype train is real. Last 5 wins, all, and I mean all, by brutal KO. Like knockout, flatline, all of his opponents. But I think Damir is seasoned, competent on the feet, very good in the grappling, and I think he avoids the power shots, takes him to the ground, controls him, and edges out a unanimous decision on the judges' scorecard. Now, it may sound crazy, but that's just from the tape that I was watching. I just see that happening. And for that, I'm just going to pick Damir Hadzovic as the victor, or I have him for the win by unanimous decision. Next fight on the card, we have Trevin Giles versus Carlos Pretz. I'm picking Trevin Giles to upset Carlos Pretz. Talking about another prospect on the rise, all of Carlos Pretz's last 5 fights as well, all by knockout. Trevin Giles, man, solid contender, been around the division for a while, has beaten notable names, has beaten up and comers, stopped a lot of hype train, and I think he's gonna stop this hype train as well. He is competent on the feet, on the ground, grappling and submission wrestling. He's very good. So I think Prats is gonna come with these power punches, and Trevin Giles will game plan to avoid it. Stay safe on the feet, get the mat down to the ground, and as well, like I normally say, the hump your leg style, and he edges out a unanimous decision. Looking at the lines, Trevin Giles is a plus 187 favorite. Sorry, underdog. Actually, he's a 187 underdog with Carlos Prats being a minus 200 favorite, which is crazy. I mean, this is Trevin Giles, but I think Giles gets it done. Next fight on the card, we have Rodolfo Vieira versus Arman Petrosian. I'm picking Arman Petrosian to get the victory, and I think he out kickbox Vieira. You know, touches him up on the feet, keeps him at range, and takes a unanimous decision on the judges' scorecard. Vieira, however, is very good at BJJ, so if he gets the fight down to the ground, it's pretty much over. Looking at the odds for the fight, Arman Petrosian a minus 125 favorite, with Rodolfo Vieira being a minus 155 favorite. So the odds are pretty even, or almost near even. They're both, you know, within the favorite range, but I think Petrosian gets the fight taken by decision. Next fight in the card, we have Michael Johnson versus Darius Flowers. I'm picking Michael Johnson. I know he got brutally knocked out in his last fight, but I think here is a more favorable matchup. Yeah, Darius Flowers has the wrestling, has the KO power as well. So if Michael Johnson goes in there and he brawls with Darius Flowers, he can get chin again, because you know his chin got cracked the last time. But I think this time he's just gonna stay safe, keep it on the outside, and press Darius Flowers. And I say he gets a third round knockout. Darius Flowers have shown not to have great cardio, so probably when he tires in the later round, Johnson takes him out. Looking at the odds for the fight, Michael Johnson, a minus 135 favorite, with Darius Flowers being a plus 200 underdog. I'm picking Michael Johnson to win, and I call knockout. Next fight on the card, we have Brad Tavares versus Gregory Rodriguez, Robocop. I'm picking Gregory Rodriguez to knock out a weathered and old Brad Tavares. I say he does it in the first round or at latest the second round. This fight is not going distance. Brad Tavares got brutally knocked out by Bruno Silva. His chin is like it's shattered. It's gone at this point. His last win was against Chris Weidman, which looked like, you know, he was fighting a senior citizen. But I think, yeah, this fight definitely not a match for him. I think Gregory Rodriguez chins him and gets another victory. Odds for the fight, we have Brad Tavares at a plus 255 underdog, with Robocop sitting at a minus 115 favorite. Sounds about right. Moving up, next fight on the card, we have Robert Brycek versus Igor Patiria. This fight was supposed to be Duraev versus Robert Brycek. Duraev pulled out. And now we have Igor Patiria, who doesn't have a good gas tank, and going into the later rounds, normally tires and gases out. I'm picking Robert Brycek by knockout as well, be it that his last couple of fights all have been by finish. I think he corners a tired Igor Patiria and puts him out, right? Point blank. Looking at odds for the fight, Robert Brycek sitting at a minus 125 favorite, with Igor Patiria being a plus 227 underdog. That's what I like about Superbet. They normally, you know, they have it as it is. But yeah, I think Robert Brycek pretty much, you know, dogs walk him and just, you know, just gets him, just KOs him, man. It's not gonna be good. Moving up the fight to our co-main event of the evening, it's Dan Ige versus Andre Fili. I'm picking Dan Ige to edge out a unanimous decision. Of course, great striking. Both men are going to stand and bang. I don't think Andre Fili will have the chops to take Dan Ige down. I don't think he will attempt. They're more going to be contended in the striking. And I think Dan Ige puts it on him for 3 rounds and takes it on the judges' scorecard. Looking at the odds for the fight, Dan Ige minus 125 favorite, Andre Fiallo plus 225 underdog. Sorry. So yeah, I think Dan Ige gets it done on the judges' scorecard and closes off the main event. Sorry, the co-main event. The main event of the evening: Jack Hermanson versus Joe Pyfer. I'm picking Joe Pyfer. I think he KOs Jack Hermanson. Jack Hermanson got KO'd by Roman Dolidze, and from what we saw last night, Roman Dolidze is shit. So I am picking Joe Pyfer to chin Jack Hermanson and move up the ladder as a potential prospect in the middleweight division. In terms of odds, Joe Pyfer a minus 320 favorite, Jack Hermanson a plus 325 underdog. Wow. Now, Guyana's sports book is very wide, but I understand where they're coming from and it makes sense. So that's pretty much the pick for tonight, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Also, if you haven't subscribed, like I mentioned at the start of the video, please subscribe. Hit the post notification bell to be alerted of when I update new videos. And stay safe until I see you guys next time. Again, this is your boy JJM from the MMA Breakdowns channel saying I'm out. Peace.